It's an interesting thing, gossip. We have a love-hate relationship with it. On the one hand, we hate it when rumors fly behind our backs, but on the other hand, we love to be the ones throwing them around. Gossip is everywhere. It's a sin that we are both a perpetrator and victim at one point. I think it's only appropriate that my Pixar movie be or have the central theme as gossip. The movie will be very short. It takes place entirely at a suburban intersection. The scene doesn't change. It sets up like this. A curved road runs this way, meeting a straight road here. It's a very green, pristine scene. Idyllic houses, a park, and a hillside covered in lush evergreens watch over the scenery. The characters will be the various signs and lights on every street you see. The main characters will be the traffic lights at the intersection itself. I know Pixar has a thing for making inanimate objects animate, so that's what I plan to do. They all have their own quirky attitude and unique view of the world, and I want my movie to centralize around the interaction of these characters. First, we have Oak here. He's a very old traffic lamp. He's been around since the first traffic lamps were ever erected, and he's very proud of this. It makes him very proud. However, at his age, he's kind of afraid that they're going to replace him. He's very well experienced in doing his job, and he takes it upon himself to pass his experience on. He wants all the other lights and signs to do their job very well, and they want to do them correctly. He's very caring, but he comes off a bit stern. Over here we have Maple. She's not as old as, she's the second oldest of the three. She doesn't have the same level of experience as Oak, but she tries her best. She's like a motherly hen to the others on the street. She tends to them, or she comforts them when Oak berates them for doing something wrong, and when they're confused about something, she tries to explain it. She does her best to explain it to them. And lastly, we have Birch. He's the one we see the movie through. He's the new guy. He's only about 3 months on the job, not a lot of experience, kind of awkward. He messes up a lot, doing things like he'd turn on both turn lights at the same time, or he doesn't know which one to turn on when the cars are there. You know, hitting red when it should be green or yellow. Needless to say, he's not on Oak's good side. He is a very nervous character, but he's a very innocent one, too. He always has the best for people in mind, and he tries his best to make sure that all conflicts are resolved. Unfortunately, being the new guy, he gets drawn into this argument between Maple and Oak. This argument is the main conflict of the movie. You see, Maple thinks that Oak is too old and ought to retire. Oak, on the other hand, thinks that Maple is too weak and soft to lead the group. But they're not upfront about this. They go behind each other's backs and they tell the other sides that the other should leave, that they did something wrong last week, or they did something wrong a couple hours ago, and they should go. And Birch sees this. He sees how it splits the group. The plot revolves around him trying to mend the splintered relations of the street. You see, I want this movie to be a multifaceted commentary. I want people, when they're watching this, and especially afterwards, when they're going home, to think about these questions. I want them to think about how honest should we be with other people. I want them to think about, you know, how much is someone else's business our own. And lastly, I think this is the most important one. How should we interact with those we disagree with? How should we interact with those that we dislike? I really find that cinema is a very good teacher of morals. And I really hope that people, when they finish watching this, when they are going home, that they'll take something away and that they'll use it for the rest of their lives.